Hello, everybody. I haven't been live on this page for, I don't even remember, but I wanted to come on live and share with you one really clear example that will help you to understand emotional resistance. And this is really in light of a workshop that I'm releasing on October 9th. And the workshop is the first step towards music-life balance. And this is actually a workshop that is building on a masterclass that I already did a couple of months ago, or more than a couple of months ago. And I really wanted to continue building upon it. So for now, I feel like there's 3 workshops coming through. The first one, the first step, is going to be released on October 9th and is currently €44, and the price will increase incrementally until the workshop is released on October 9th. When you sign up, you will also receive access to the masterclass that I did. It's an hour and a half, I want to say, or an hour and 40 minutes, probably an hour and 40 minutes, the masterclass, and it's very elaborate on what balance really is, what that looks like when you are active in nightlife as an electronic artist, as a DJ, and how to really define your own sense of balance in your own music life, and how balance is an illusion actually. So it's really covering all of those beautiful things, and I really felt like I wanted to build upon that masterclass by recording really a 3-step plan so that you can actually create balance in your own music and live practice. So, as I said, it's going to be 3 workshops. Maybe there will be more, I don't know, but the first one is a fact, and I have been having a lot of the content coming through today and a few months ago already. I've been kind of working on this for a few months, but I felt like now is really the best time to, I want to say a great time and the best time, and it kind of came out like as the best time. I don't know, I'm making up words here in English. But so if you're interested in that, let me know, send me a DM. Some of you have already reached out and some of you are already in, so that's amazing. Celebrating you. I am so happy that you're in, and you're going to be really amazed with this first step, and then obviously there's going to be more steps following. As I said, it's going to be 3 workshops which really are meant as activations, so that every time you look back, because you will be getting lifetime access, every time you look back you will be just learning something new depending on where you are in your journey. But so for today, I wanted to talk about really a clear example that will help you to understand emotional resistance, because this is actually a little bit what the first step of music-life balance is going to start building upon, and it's really, really important that you learn about, oh, I had a bad connection. I think I'm back. Anyway, so it's important that you learn about resistance and that you understand contrast versus feel good. And I wanted to demonstrate it with a really easy example, because I do feel like to understand more abstract concepts, and especially when it's about, emotional, psychological stuff, it really helps to have a very simple, almost commonplace example, so that you can really kind of learn to understand this with your rational brain in a safe way, right? And this is something that during my coaching training, the therapist who trained me always taught us. He always said, like, okay, I'm going to explain a few new concepts here, and then we're all going to practice with something really, like, very simple, like using a scarf, or in my case, I'm going to use a sweater as an example, to really help you to kind of deepen your understanding from a safe space, so that your brain doesn't go like, oh my god, danger, danger, like fight, flight, fawn, freeze, we gotta get out of here, where's the next emergency exit, right? And so that when you get that down, when you get to integrate new concepts and new ideas, and get really used to them and normalize them, then you get to practice with those new ideas and concepts on a more deeper level, on a more metaphysical level. So let me know if that makes sense. If you have any questions around that, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'm happy to have a conversation around that with you. But so, here's my example to explain emotional resistance, so contrast versus feel good to you. It's really very simple, and it involves a white sweater and spaghetti sauce. The reason why I'm using that as an example is because last week I was wearing one of my white sweaters and I was eating spaghetti, and some red sauce got on the sweater. And I was like, oh my fucking god, spaghetti sauce, like tomato sauce on my white sweater. I'm never going to get this out. Like, I was already on the brink of calling my mother and ask her for tips. And then I remembered I actually had this really great product that she used to recommend to me to use, pre-wash and then put it in the wash. And then, you know, eventually it came out. But anyway, we all know this, wearing something white and then something comes on and you're like, oh my god, this whole thing is ruined. Like, and the only thing that you can focus on, and the only thing that your mind is going to the whole time until that issue is resolved, is that spaghetti sauce stain on that freaking white sweater. And you're like, oh my god, there's the stain. Will somebody see it? Especially if you're out and about, it's like the most horrible thing that you're constantly thinking about. Oh my god, people will see this, and like my sweater is no longer spotless and it looks dirty, and like, holy shit, this is just ruined. Like, they ruined, right? Let me know if that sounds familiar to you. And as I said, it sounds like a really commonplace, banal example, but this is really what I mean with, it's really easy to understand that the contrast experience is you're wearing your white sweater and then suddenly tomato sauce comes on it and it's like ruins. This is the same thing with you experiencing things on an emotional level, right? So, you know, you're waking up in the morning and you're like, oh my god, this is such a great day, I feel so good, and like you hear the birds chirping outside and your cats are rolling around and being all cute, and your fiance for once is, you know, getting up and feeling like he's not having, you know, a bad mood in the morning. Sorry, honey. But my fiance always gets up with a bad mood. He's not really a morning person, which is totally fine. It's no judging. And so you're like, yes, I'm really so looking forward to this day and I'm so ready, yay! And then something happens and you're like, fuck, day ruined. And that's what contrast is. You are presented with something contrasting, a contrasting experience to feeling good. So 1 minute you're happy and then something happens and then you're feeling sad or anxious or stressed or whatever it is that makes you feel bad, okay? And so this is really the same thing with like the spaghetti sauce ending up on the sweater. Whenever you're presented with contrast, it's like your whole day is ruined, your whole experience is just gone, and you're like, okay, this is it. It's just fucked. There's no more saving this day. Fuck it, right? And this is the thing with sadness or bad feelings. Like, I don't really like to say bad feelings, but really there are feelings that make us feel bad, right? Just like I said, sadness, anxiety, fear, anger, like all of those things really kind of yank us out our feel-good state. And this is the thing with sadness or bad feelings, is that they are so potent and they have the potency to actually ruin your feel-good feelings instantly. And the interesting thing is, the other way around doesn't go. It's not like you're feeling bad and then something happy happens and then happiness is ruining your badness. That never happens. It's not like, I mean, if that happens to you, like, let me know, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Like, if you feel bad and something happy happens, it's not like you're saying, oh yeah, that's just great, this happy thing totally ruined my sadness. Like, that doesn't happen, right? But the other way around, it does. This one thing can happen in your day, no matter how big or small. This one contrasting thing, experience, thought. Maybe somebody said something to you. Maybe something happened in traffic. Maybe, whatever, you saw something on social media that totally triggered you, and your bad feelings completely ruin your happy feelings, and that's it. Now, the thing is, it's really, really important and good for you to really understand your contrasting experiences, to understand your resistance to feeling good, because you really need both of those experiences, both the contrast and the resistance, as well as the feel good. You need the spaghetti sauce and the white sweater to really be able to live a full, wholesome experience, right? And what we're usually trying to do whenever we're feeling bad is either we're trying to bypass it and we're trying to ignore it, or we're trying to cover it up with toxic positivity, like, I don't know, like, oh, this is going to, or over rationalize, like we're not giving our feelings the space to just be, and we're over rationalizing it, or we're trying to cover it up with some like positive affirmation or mantra or whatever. Not that there is anything wrong with that, but either we're doing that, trying to bypass it or ignore it, or we are covering it up with negativity, with, oh my God, this always happens to me, like, oh, it's never going to get better, I'm never going to be able to finish this song, my gear is lacking again, oh, this person is doing so much better than me and they are getting opportunities that I'm not getting, and blah, blah, blah. Like, you're covering it up with negativity, and what you're doing is you are creating parasite emotions. So, meaning maybe you will be getting angry about the sadness that just happened to you, and then you're more focused on being angry than actually trying to hear what the sadness is trying to tell you. And so you're getting parasite emotions that are getting in the way of you actually experiencing the thing that you were supposed to experience in the first place, which was, for example, the sadness, right? Which was the thing that came up for you when you were presented with contrasts. Again, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. Also, if you're watching the replay, don't be shy. Feel free to ask me any questions, or let me know if this all sounds familiar to you, or if you're getting any aha moments, breakthroughs, if this is something that you're like, oh my God, yes, this makes so much sense to me, just drop me a comment below, okay? But so, with these compounding emotions on top of each other, it becomes really difficult at times to understand, like, what was the thing that actually happened in the first place that made me feel this way, and like it gets all tangled up, and it becomes really difficult to even unravel your emotional experience because it's so overwhelming. You don't even know like what you're feeling anymore. Are you sad? Are you angry because you're sad? Are you sad because you're angry? Like, it's like you're not even allowing yourself to just feel whatever needs to be felt, and allowing yourself at the same time to also be able to feel good. Because that's the thing. When negativity steps in, when we start judging the experience of sadness or whatever bad feeling is coming up for you, you are just not allowing yourself to have that full experience, and you're not allowing yourself to see your own self-worth in the sadness, as well as you can see your self-worth in the feel-good, right? There is so much value in every type of feeling, even in contrast, even in resistance, that we're missing out on because we're covering it up with negativity. And when we get negative, we are not able to see our own value, our own self-worth. It is possible to feel sad and still see how valuable and how worthy you are as a person at the same time. That's possible. It's not possible when you are covering up your bad feeling, emotions, feelings, thoughts with negativity. Like, oh, this always happens to me, there it is again, it's never going to get better, blah, blah, blah. Like, really self-victimizing that situation just for feeling sad. Whilst what we forget is that those are really potent feelings, as I just demonstrated, Those are the spaghetti sauce on the white sweater that can feel like it ruins our whole experience, and we're like yanked out of the feel good and everything seems to be fucked up. But it's within those moments, within those feelings, those potent feelings, that we can actually learn so much about ourselves. And the problem is that we do not learn to accept where we are when we are there, because we think we have to be happy all the time and we have to be on the up and up whenever we are creating something new, and it has to come from a good place. Like, it can also come from a space of sadness or anger or turmoil or whatever it is that's coming up for you, whilst you are still seeing how valuable, worthy, and deserving you are as a person, as an artist, as a creator. It can all happen at the same time. That's the duality of this whole experience, right? You can feel sad and good about yourself at the same time. And when you allow yourself to let both experiences exist at the same time, you create a wholesome experience for yourself. So these are steps that I'm going to unravel a lot more in the first step music life balance workshop, which is going to be available October 9th. So if you're like, oh my God, yes, this feels so interesting to me and I would love to dive in deeper and I would love to unpack this a little bit more, really this workshop is meant to help you do this in a safe environment, right? In an environment where you get to practice with these concepts and ideas, and you get to learn how to implement them step by step in your own life, in your own music practice, in your own creation practice. But really from a safe space, not from a space where your brain is like, oh my God, danger, we gotta get out of here. It's really about teaching your nervous system to be more resilient, but in a controlled environment. And that's why I wanted to create this series of workshops for you. And that's why I'm now going to be releasing the first step towards Music-Life Balance on October 9th. And this really is one of the most important steps. It's really the workshop that you have to take if you want to create balance in music and in life. Like, the other workshops that I will be creating will also be super potent and super awesome. But if you don't take this first step, where I will be teaching you all about acceptance and starting from where you're at and all of that beautiful stuff, if you don't take that first step, all the other steps are just not really going to be that potent for you. So if you're interested, the price is now €44. The price will go up incrementally until the workshop is released on October 9th. And if you're interested, please send me a DM, and you will also be receiving a bonus, which is my Music-Life Masterclass, lasting around 1 hour and 40 minutes. Usually this masterclass is priced €111, but I will be throwing it in for you when you sign up for Music-Life Balance, the first step workshop. So that was it for my live today. Thank you so much for watching, either live or on the replay, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!